This video is all about making the best investments you can make. An investment that will not only give you cash flow, but yield the highest returns and increase in value over time. I'm talking about real estate. What's going on, man? It's your boy Jay Reed and I'm back with another video. If this is your first time here, my name is Jabari Reed. I'm a realtor and investor here in the Atlanta area. This channel is all about real estate, credit, and finance. So if that's something that interests you, subscribe and you'll learn how to triple your wealth this year through real estate investing. This video, we're talking about why real estate is the greatest investment ever. If you've seen my last video about the top 5 places that you should put your money, then you know I put real estate as number 1 on that list. And now I'm gonna talk about why. The first reason why real estate is the best investment ever is because it has consistent and predictable cash flow. See, what cash flow is your income minus your expenses. For example, let's say you own a studio and that studio has a mortgage of $2,500 every single month. But when you rent that studio out, you can make about $4,000 every single month. That puts you at a $1,500 cash flow. If you get a traditional loan, then your payment will be the same for 15, 20, or 30 years. It'll be the same payment every single month. If you know your mortgage is $900 a month, but you're in a place where you could charge $1,500 for rent, go for it. That's more cash flow in your pocket. The second thing that we're gonna talk about is probably my favorite, and that is all of the tax advantages that you have through real estate investing. All costs associated with owning, operating, and managing any piece of property can be deducted in your tax bill. Residential real estate is said to have a lifespan of 27.5 years. That means you can write off depreciation on that home for decades to come. Along with that, there is another tax evasion or illusion that we have through real estate investing called a 1031 exchange. This allows you to defer your taxes until a later date. And see, that later date is not specified. So you can defer it and defer it and defer it and defer it until that real estate taxes never has to be paid. But we'll get into taxes more in a later video. If you want to see a video about how you can legally not pay your taxes, comment down below and I'll show you what the rich people do. The third reason why real estate is a greater investment than anything else is because it actually depreciates. Although real estate is taxed based on depreciation, actual real estate appreciates every single year. In most cases, it doesn't matter where you are. And that's because people are born every day. Those people will eventually need somewhere to stay. But real estate is not created. You can't just go and make more land. You can't build another city from the water. It just can't happen. So what that means is the demand of that real estate is going to go up. And what happens when demand goes up and supply stays the same? An increase in prices. And that's good for real estate owners because if you already are living in that house, you already own that house, then as the market inflates 2 to 3% every single year, you will reap the benefits of that. So let's talk about appreciation for a quick second. Real estate usually appreciates at 2 to 5% every single year. So let's say you own a $300,000 house and you see appreciation in your area at about 3% every single year. That means every year you're getting another $9,000 in equity in that home. Not to mention that equity will be compounded. So the first year it'll be $9,000. The second year it might be $9,900. The third year you're looking at $10,000. There is absolutely no other place where you can see this type of return on your money, and this is not even including the cash flow or the principal pay down, which we'll get into later in the video. The fourth reason why real estate is greater than any other investment you can make is because real estate can be leveraged. In most cases, you can purchase your primary residence with as little as 3% down. You can purchase an investment property with as little as 20% down, 15% or 10% in some cases. What that means is you can own $300,000 worth of real estate with only $9,000 out of pocket. And you seen how just a second ago I talked about how the market appreciates. So after 1 year, you can see a full return of your investment. That's crazy. And then on top of that, you can use that real estate property to leverage and buy you more real estate properties. There's no other way, or there's no other investment that's allowing you to do that. This brings me to my fifth and final point of why real estate investing is better than any other form of investment. And that's because you can build equity and wealth relatively quickly. So let's start with equity. Equity is the difference of what a property is worth minus what you owe on it. Let's say you have a property that's worth $300,000, but you've been making payments for the last 10 years, so you only owe $200,000 on that property. That means you have $100,000 in equity. That's your money and you can do with it as you please. Let's talk about a few different ways to access it. The first way to access your equity that we're going to talk about is what's called a HELOC. HELOC is short for Home Equity Line of Credit. This is pretty much a credit card which borrows against your equity. So it's like having a credit card with a $100,000 balance on it. The second thing that we're going to talk about is a cash out refinance. This is when you refinance your home, which means you take that 30-year loan and you start it from here, from day one, and you pay for another 30 years. The benefit is that all of the equity that you have in that home, you get it. You get a check for it. All of that money is yours and it's now in your bank account. A lot of people have been refinancing these days. Or let's say you decide to sell. If you decide to sell that property for $300K and you only owe $200K, what's going to happen is the buyer is going to cut that $300,000 check. That check will then go to pay the balance of what you owe, which is $200, and then that last $100,000 in equity, that's what you get to keep in your pocket. Now, for those of you that stuck around, thank you, and we're going to get into the last bonus tip, and that's what's called principal paydown. What most people don't look at is as you make payments every single month, you own more and more of the principal in that home. So let's say you purchase a house for $300,000 and your monthly payment on it is $1,500 a month. That means as you make those $1,500 payments, you're going to increase equity every single month because you're paying it off. So the amount that you pay off is what you get to keep in equity in that home. And again, if you want to access it, there are different type of ways. So I hope this video really helps you understand why real estate is the best place that you can put your money. The returns are like no other. You get cash flow, you get equity, you get tax breaks. There's no other place that you can do that. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you loved it, share it with someone who you think may need this information, because we're about to triple our wealth this year through real estate investing. See you guys on the next video. Peace.